welcome, friends,
to the How-To Heretic.
I'm Uncle Mark.
And I'm Uncle Dan.
And I'm Uncle Doug.
And this is your user's guide to life on the outside.
That's right. Leaving religion is your first step into a larger, better world.
But it can also be a scary world. Things work differently now.
Never fear. That's why we're here.
We're your audio uncles. And with help from good friends and experts in all sorts of fields.
We're going to share the stories and seek the knowledge to build a great life.
After all, you only get one that we know of, so you better make the most of it.
Let's go. Fellas.
Oh.
Yay! It's a show that we're doing.
2018 is over, and it's nothing but clear blue skies ahead, friends.
Easy street from this on out.
Yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming train.
Yeah. It's an underfunded government train sitting quite still. So, watch this space.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a fun show this week.
Yeah, we're gonna have a delightful time because first of all, Uncle Doug will share his talents with us.
I'm going to do some sexy pageant walking.
Yeah, it totally is. And then you are what you've got the secrets of
the
cards
of the cartomancy. What cartography?
All hands on deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan is going to talk about cartography, and I am going to lead us through a checklist for the coming year.
Yes, indeed.
And it's really wonderful, so I hope you'll stick around.
Yeah, it's a prescription for a good life.
It is indeed. And I just want to say quickly about our December charity drive for our friends at the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Thank you very much, everybody. Amazing help and contribution, lots of love, and we won't know for a week or two what the total numbers are.
Yeah, we will have to figure out sort of the totals, because we said that people who gave right up until the last second will give a full month. So we may not know until actually the end of the month.
Got to do some fuzzy maths.
What our actual total is. But you'll never know if we lie to you, so that's fine. We'll figure it out.
We've been doing it this whole time.
We are,
dear listeners. So
under no deity edict not to lie, so we can do what we want.
Well, come on in and let us lie to you some more.
Yes, indeed. Let's lie up a whole show.
Well, Uncle Dan.
Yes, sir.
Certain of us have abilities beyond what the norm.
Are you saying that you're one of the X-Men?
I'm actually one of the W men.
It's our generation's version.
It's off-brand.
It's not.
It's like the GoBots.
It's not as good.
Yeah,
I can make myself blue, but I'm unhealthy for a week.
What I can do is I'm really good at getting things that fall down next to the driver's seat. Between the console, so they don't need me often in a fight, but man, when they do,
my mutant power is that my clothes stay dry.
No matter what.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not useful, but I can do it.
I'm self-empathetic. I can tell what I'm thinking.
That's rare enough.
But I don't think that's the kind of talent that Doug wants to talk to us about.
No, I think...
Is it the flute? Or is this the swimsuit competition?
So I thought today, it's been a while since we did a parable of Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus!
It's terrible parables with Uncle Doug.
Terrible. How come we never called the fucking segment
so
that?
good.
Well, it is now.
Yep.
Oh, we did it.
We did it.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. And so, before jumping in, it's worth reiterating that these, to Christians, are as close to the source code as you will get. These are the direct words of Jesus Christ to his followers while he was on earth.
Red letter shit.
So this isn't some nebulous prophecy. This isn't some interpretation of what. This is Jesus talking. I know.
It is.
It's also bullshit.
Yes.
It's bullshit from the source of the bullshit. How's
Right.
that?
It's straight out of the bull's ass.
That's right.
It's the most uncut bullshit we can get.
Exactly. Today we will be talking about one of the more problematic parables, the parable of the talents. So in Luke, it's called the parable of the pounds.
Oh.
And in Matthew, it's the parable of the talents. And we'll get into both of those things.
Those fucking Gospels are fighting again?
Again.
Oh, that's just what... honestly.
Jesus.
Fucking Gospels.
Gospels, get it together.
So we'll take them chronologically and do Luke first. And as always, we're reading from the King James Version of the Bible, which is the official version of the How-To Heretic.
Don't.
unless a different one of us is doing it.
Unless Wonder Bible will sponsor us.
There you go. You can buy me out of my loyalty.
Wonderbible.net.
I wonder when that will happen.
Okay, so this parable comes right at the end of Jesus' ministry in the book of Luke. In fact, it is in the same chapter that Jesus rides into Jerusalem to his ultimate death on the back of a colt. And importantly, it's a colt that no one has heretofore ridden. That matters for some reason.
It's a virgin.
Yeah, it's a virgin. Well, it doesn't say that hasn't been.
I think that's called a bronco.
I think you're wrong.
That ride was a little more energetic than is commonly depicted.
Mark is calling on his vast experience in dressage.
No, in rodeo. Dressage your ass. Fucking Ann Romney. Get away from me.
So in this same chapter, he'll go, in the story in Luke, Jesus will go on to give a few more parables once inside Jerusalem, but this is the last one he gives before going into the belly of the beast. So it's kind of the end of his ministry outside of Jerusalem. So
wait, the parable is just given donkey back?
No, he gives his parable and then basically immediately gets on the colt and rides into Jerusalem.
I thought it was a donkey.
We'll get to that.
God damn it.
We will get to that.
Do I throw a palm frond or not? I don't know.
Always throw a palm frond.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do it. Luke
when
19...
in doubt, just frond. Just frond if you're in doubt ever.
Frond like the wind.
Yeah.
No, isn't the palm frond like a kung fu move?
That's right.
That's right.
It's the Buddha frond.
Okay, so here we go. Luke 19, 12 through 27. Starting out verse 12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return.
The best way to know if a story is bullshit is if it's a certain nobleman.
Exactly.
No names,
Exactly.
no specifics.
A girlfriend in Canada.
And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come.
Is this pounds meaning money?
Sterling.
So what is the worth of a pound? Asked no one. Well, it's not as easy to figure out as you might think. Basically, a pound was worth 100 drachmas, a drachma at the time being equivalent to a laborer's wage for a day's work.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of money.
A pound's a lot of money.
Therefore, 10 pounds was roughly equivalent to 1,000 days of labor.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So trade that on the market. Okay, back to the story. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned...
Because that's how kings work.
Yeah, and that's kind of it for that piece of this citizen uprising. That's over.
Nope, we won't have it. Oh, damn it.
And then it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom... So we're just not even going to address that.
Right.
Having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Okay. Then he came first, saying...
So they were all supposed to go out into the world.
Although it didn't say... I mean, it kind of said, occupy till I come home, but apparently they were supposed to go...
Apparently it meant invest wisely.
Go investing. So then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds, which is what I say every time I get on the scale.
Right.
And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in very little, thou authority over 10 cities. Damn.
What?
Okay.
And then the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities. Okay. Now, if you're a frequent listener of this podcast or reader of the Bible, it would be fair to assume at this point that we're going to have to go through all 10 servants in the same manner. Thankfully, that's not the case in this story, and we're going to kind of end at the next servant. So please keep listening.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Verse 20. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. So, add that to your list of words you never thought would be in the Bible. So, for I feared thee, because thou art an austere man. Thou takest up and thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. Okay.
Wow.
We'll keep going. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taking up that I had not laid down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest thou not thou my money into the bank? Sorry, it's really hard to read this. That at my coming I might have required mine own with usury. And he said unto them that stood by, take from him thy pound, and give it to him that hath 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he hath 10 pounds. For I say unto you that unto every one that which hath shall be given, and from them that hath not, even that he hath shall be taken away from him. I know that's really hard to kind of get to.
Yeah, this is why we use different versions of the Bible, Doug.
There are no other versions of the Bible. Don't get me started.
Do you think that having an argument in Bible times with this sentence structure must have been exhausting?
Exhausting. But basically what it's saying is, to he that have stuff shall be given more stuff.
Right.
And from he that have not stuff shall his stuff be taken away.
And thus we have why the Republicans value the Wall Street over the common man.
And to that we will get. It ends, but those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Whoa.
What is even happening?
I don't know. It's very nebulous. Okay, so...
He's mad he didn't get interest on his fucking pound?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, usury is against Christian law.
Absolutely. Okay. So that's it. There is no more. Right after that, right after he gives his parable, he jumps on this unused colt and enters Jerusalem. So
great.
There we go. That's Luke. In Matthew,
okay, I got a whole lot of colts, but you should come over to the used lot. It's cheaper and they're just as good. No, I want an unused new colt.
Yeah, there's nothing better for a calm ride into Jerusalem than a horse nobody's ever been on.
Exactly.
Good God,
All
Bible.
right. So in Matthew, the parable of the talents is in chapter 25, which occurs well after Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, all the way back in chapter 21. So the chronology is flipped.
Okay.
And if you want a more detailed description of this event, we cover it in episode 27. But I do think it's worth pointing out, as Dan brought up, that not only do these two Gospels not align in the chronology, they differ in the manner in which Jesus enters Jerusalem in one fundamental way. In Luke, Jesus enters riding a colt. In Matthew, he enters riding both a colt and an ass at the same time.
Let me tell you something. You haven't lived until you've ridden a colt and an ass at the same time.
You've seen those rodeo gals who ride in standing on the back of two horses.
It's a whole category in Pornhub. People even watch Pornhub. Which one am I thinking of?
Pornhub's good. Yeah, it's classic.
Is there a rodeo Pornhub?
Probably. There is now.
Obvious, yes.
Okay, in this version, this is the second to last parable that Jesus gives at all. The last one being the parable of the sheep and the goats, which occur here in the same chapter. So, and then in the next chapter here, Jesus is betrayed. So this is the second to last parable Jesus gives in Matthew at all.
Okay, right. He's about to die. He is about to die. Famous last words.
What one would think, right? In a regular narrative story, the last words would have some import to them and would have some extra meaning maybe imbued into them. But whatever.
Yeah, you want to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Matthew 25, 14-30. We'll bounce through this pretty quick. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. So already the narrative is moving much better. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. To every man according to his several ability.
Okay, it's totally different, but yeah.
Yeah, and straightway took his journey. Okay, what is a talent worth? Asked nobody again. Well, a talent is apparently about 75 pounds of gold.
Oh my God!
He gave somebody 5 75-pound gold coins?
Exactly, which in today's dollars would be about $1,400,116.57.
Yeah, but the gold market fluctuates.
It does fluctuate.
Holy balls.
All right, in this story, there are a total of 7 talents, so we're talking about $9,800,000.
Yeah, okay. You want to invest that.
You definitely want to invest that.
You don't want to let that just sit around.
Now, It could also have been silver, but if you want to know how much 75 pounds worth of silver is worth, you're going to have to do some of the work yourselves, okay? I can't do everything. All right.
Yeah, you want to invest that in, like, the busted hut and tattered burlap curtain markets, right? That's...
I hear cup sales are going to be going through the roof.
Yeah, in the last days.
That's right. Okay, so back to the story. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded the same and made them another 5 talents, which I have money in my 401k, which is unfortunately in the stock market right now.
So it's gone.
I want to be in this guy's portfolio.
Right?
Yeah, 100% return.
Yeah, that's, I mean...
Way to go.
And in how much time?
It doesn't say.
Almost no time.
Yeah, let's say a week. Who cares?
This guy screwed somebody over.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
This guy just straight murdered someone. Yes. This is like Madoff didn't get this kind of return.
Exactly. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. No napkin in this story. After a long time,
I miss the napkin.
If you're going to bury it, at least put it in a napkin first.
Exactly. It's just manners. Or a frond.
Where are you going to bury 75 pounds of gold?
Close.
After a long time, the Lord's servants cometh. The Lord of the servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them another 5. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. So the same thing happens with the guy with the 2 talents, comes and he's doubled his money.
If I was the guy with the 5 talents, I'd want more specifics than some things, many things.
Right.
Like, dude, I got you 100% return on this shit. I want a contract.
The other guy, increased the number of days of labor and got 10 cities.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're to the shitty servant now. Then he which had received the 1 talent came to the Lord and said, I knew thee, and that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there that thou hast is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Again, fucking usury.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done.
This is when General Dynamics stock is mentioned in the Bible for the first time.
Exactly.
Right.
Take therefore the talent from him and give it to them which have 10 talents, and for every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from he that hath not shall be taken away. Again.
That's just crazy. I love that, one guy doesn't feel were these all supposedly brokers already? Because
no, they're servants.
A guy doesn't feel comfortable investing his mean master's money,
Right.
and so he makes sure that he can at least give it back to him.
Exactly.
Right, he protects it.
Yeah.
He protects his money because everything else is fucking speculation.
You know what this is? This is the mafia.
Totally.
This is the mafia.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking make my money?
Yeah.
Where the fuck's my money?
I don't care what happened to the market.
I don't give a fuck. You buried it?
These guys
bury
were
you.
knocking off Galilee liquor stores.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really
it's
super shitty.
It's a very strange parable. And
And lo, the first servant invested the 5 talents in a nightclub in,
right. What if
in Weehawken.
What if the market had crashed? The useful servants would have had nothing to give back.
Yeah.
Which anyway.
Well,
okay.
and he's trusting an enormous fortune
Enormous.
to quote unquote servants.
Yeah.
Who? What do these people actually know about?
It doesn't. Yeah. So one not at all useful side note: in some versions of the Bible, such as the New International Version.
Oh, Doug!
I know. I strayed.
Yeah.
In Luke, it's called the parable of the minas, M-I-N-A-S, and you'll love this. A mina being equivalent to 1/60th of a talent, so 1.25 pounds of gold, or $23,335. So that matters.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the market this morning.
So the differences are pretty pointless but interesting. That whole other kingdom thing is dispensed with in Matthew. The rebellious peasant narrative isn't really focused on, and the amount of money is different. But the similarities are there and very shocking. In both cases, the master expects the servants to basically double the money. In both, the master is an austere or hard man. In both, he espouses his love of usury, and states clearly that he reaps where he doesn't sow. In both cases, he punishes the prudent he rewards the prudent servants and punishes the useless servant with a punishment that doesn't quite fit the crime.
Well, I mean, it's so weird, right? It's
so
like,
weird.
We'll give that one to the guy who made the most money.
And by the way, for those who don't know, usury means charging interest.
Yeah,
right. That's all.
But usually onerous interest,
right?
Like you can't get out of.
But I mean, any interest is considered usury,
Correct.
And it's why for centuries Christians had to do business with Jews because Jews were allowed to
charge interest,
to lend on interest,
exactly,
and Christians weren't.
Right.
So if you went to a Christian for a loan, that guy got nothing out of the deal.
Right. And so you read this parable, and it seems to say something very strong. It seems to say that you're supposed to take your money and invest it. You're supposed to speculate. You're supposed to charge interest, et cetera, et cetera. And to not do so is wicked.
Yeah.
So most Christians read it that way. There is one liberation theology interpretation championed primarily by this guy, William Herzog, that actually I quite like, and it's that this third servant was a whistleblower. And he was exposing the profits and exploitation of the wasteful master. And that's why he was punished, not because he didn't invest right. And while that interpretation seems to fit the story of Jesus and his other parables a bit better, because Jesus was very pro-poor and anti-wealth, the only interpretation that really matters are what the rich and powerful interpret it as.
Yeah, that's the one that tends to get written down.
Can I offer another interpretation?
Why not?
Which is the one that I was raised with in Mormon churches, which was that it was talking about actual talents.
Right.
And you're supposed to engage what the talent that God gave you,
like learning the banjo.
Yes, yes, it was
Really?
100% about learning the banjo. And if God gave you the talent to learn the banjo, and you don't, you're burying your talents in a napkin.
The problem with that is,
Really?
in the Bible itself, they use a different word for that. Later/earlier in the Bible.
It's a parable, Doug. It doesn't have to be the right word.
So a talent is just an unfortunate synonym or whatever. It's just
it's coincidence.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a homophone.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a
Exactly.
homophone. That's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
So dumb.
Do you want to guess what interpretation that the rich and powerful have used over these last 2,000 years?
Double my money, motherfucker.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to round this out here. We'll talk about this other stuff another day. But indeed, the parable of the talents is one of the primary spiritual and doctrinal underpinnings of the prosperity theology.
Right.
Which we'll tackle that some other time. But let's just say that 50 Cent encapsulated their belief system pretty well in Get Rich or Die Trying when he said, "Now get a load of me, flashy, far from low-key, and you can locate me wherever that dope be, getting money, man."
Yeah, I mean,
I love that from
the idea
Matthew.
that Christians, with everything else that Jesus had to say, this parable notwithstanding, everything else Jesus had to say, I mean, obviously, as we've said many times, you can use the Bible to justify any perspective you want to.
Exactly.
But poor Christians in this country see wealth as a sign of piousness.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
spiritual success.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of bullshit that makes them think that. Whereas it's very clear that these people are fucking these, the wealthy are fucking these poor people over left, right, and center.
A camel passing through the eye of a needle.
Right.
That whole thing is just lost.
Yeah.
In the shade of this very weird interpretation of a story that doesn't make a lot of sense anyway.
No, and in both stories, it reiterates that he who has a lot shall be given more, and he who doesn't shall be given less.
Right, and that's the order that it's supposed to be, apparently. Why would you strive to be not poor?
It seems
that's
pretty
where
clear.
You're supposed to be.
It seems pretty clear that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
So it is a problematic parable to be sure, and there's, now you know why Oral Roberts and Creflo Dollar have such nice private planes.
Yeah,
I mean, if you just listen to this whole segment while looking at a picture of Joel Osteen.
Totally.
And this will all make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
his halo is made of dollar bills.
Yeah.
That's right.
Peace be upon him. So, well, that just makes me mad, Doug. Thanks so much.
Anytime.
Yep. Let's move on.
Moving on.
Uncle Mark,
I'm here.
I'd like to know what's in the cards for this afternoon.
Well, I think it's the 3 of clubs.
I think it's the 10 of tin cups.
I think it's the fool of dance time.
I think it's the Prince of Countertops.
All right, we've done it. We've covered the segment.
Was that your card? Was that your card? I think Uncle Dan is shuffling the deck to tell us what's up here.
Listen, fellas, in a topsy-turvy world so full of uncertainty, misery, and horrors of all kinds, and I'm thinking here of the new Will Ferrell Sherlock Holmes movie, it can be comforting to seek knowledge and wisdom from outside the standard pantheon of information and understanding. People who seek such knowledge frequently turn to those versed in the mysteries of cartomancy. Cartomancy.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, it's a word.
It is now.
I learned it. That's right. We're talking tarot.
The tarot.
Or if someone very, very snooty who's really into it, they'll correct you and say tarot. But
yeah.
At which point, walk away.
At which point, just keep saying tarot.
You know what you do at that point? You reach down and you undo the buckle on their fanny pack so it falls off and they're all flustered.
They are all flustered.
And they're going to miss their bus.
Yeah. As you know, this is a very, very popular...
I was just doing a pro-bullying thing there. I would like to retract that, even though it was funny. Sorry, Uncle Dan. Please proceed.
I like that you'd first do the pro-bullying, and then you declare yourself funny. That both are...
Both can be true.
They can both be true. It's
true. In the cards.
It's in the cards for you. Look, every medium, astrologer, fortune teller you can find will gladly read the cards for you. It doesn't matter what their actual specialty is. If you say, hey, do you do tarot? They'll be like, yeah, I do that. So if that is your preferred method of occultic divination, you're in luck. It's positively ubiquitous in the world of magical self-knowledge. But it's obviously not just for the pros.
No.
You or someone you know almost certainly has a tarot deck at their home.
There's a home game.
Which you are going to learn all about so that you could have a really fun trick that you could do, but then you tried it once at a party and it took way too long because you didn't remember as much as you thought you would from that little book that you bought, so you have to keep looking stuff up, and then everybody else at the party wants a turn, and so you eventually just started making stuff up for people, and you felt a little bad about it, but not very bad because you didn't believe it anyway, or at least you didn't believe that you could actually do it, and you didn't really get to talk to anybody at the party, and you pretty much never touched that deck again.
Dan is just staring into the middle distance, accessing a memory.
This is oddly specific.
Yeah. I guarantee you, multiple of our listeners just went, how did you do that? That happened to me.
Yeah.
So, what is tarot?
Yeah.
Well, you already know the answer to that. You've tried...
It's nothing.
You tried that thing at the party, remember?
Yeah.
Everybody knows what tarot is, except the people who most know what it is, as is so often the case with these things. Those are the people most likely to be wrong about this.
Yeah.
Basically, here's the real scoop, or as real as I can get, as close as I can get to it. We'll start with the 18th century Frenchman and one-time Protestant pastor and inventor of the resting bitch face, Antoine Coeur de Gébelin.
Coeur de Gébelin!
Seriously, though, look him up. And when you see the rendering of him...
Is he not a pretty man?
Realize that he had to sit and pose for that shit. Because he has the grumpiest look on his face that you can imagine. I just can't imagine someone sitting for...
And remember, portraiture is the art of flattery, so...
Right.
What must he truly have looked like?
He was a grumpy motherfucker. Anyway, Monsieur de Coeur de Gébelin was one of the first big proponents of the mystical nature of the cards and provided our first explanation for their origin. The cards, you see, illustrated as they were with intricate art depicting many interesting symbols and situations, hailed originally from Egypt. The pictures and symbols, like the hieroglyphics on the obelisks and pyramids of old, were keys to ancient mystic wisdom and a window into esoteric knowledge long thought lost. In fact, it is possible that these decks were the last remaining vestige of the lost knowledge from the great library of Alexandria that was burned.
Hallelujah!
Right? Hooray! And as it turns out, this is actually a totally plausible explanation for the heritage of the tarot deck, as long as you totally ignore any actual evidence about their history and choose not to believe that the Rosetta Stone actually gave any insight into ancient Egyptian writing and symbols.
So for those listeners, turn it off now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you do look into all that stuff, you'll realize he was just making stuff up.
And a little heretic hot tip here.
Yeah.
The Rosetta Stone's going to come up in many of our stories. This has really fucked up a lot of people.
It kind of spoiled the party for many, many purveyors of bullshit.
Yeah, it fucked up a lot of Carnival Barkers afternoons.
So
we love you, Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the actual origins of tarot. You know how we have games with cards that have numbers and faces and suits on them?
You betcha.
Well, so did the Europeans of the late 14th century.
Sure.
The concept may have been imported. It may actually have been imported from Egypt or possibly Turkey, but regardless of how it came to Europe, it was always just for gaming. So the first tarot cards, as we now might think of them, came from northern Italy around 1450. That's the first we hear of them in any of the record. Then it was known as tarocchini, which was a game similar to bridge, I think. I don't really know bridge or tarocchini, for that matter, I guess. It spread through Europe, and then as it spread, both the game and the name evolved. My favorite version is the Austrian Königrufen.
Ja, mich gerne the Königrufen.
Königrufen.
Yeah.
The word tarot itself comes from the French version.
Oh, okay. So what's the name of the
Thank
Frenchman?
God it's not the Königrufen deck.
Yeah, exactly. Or the name of the guy who invented it. What's his name?
Monsieur Coeur de Gébelin.
I thought you were going to say that was the original name of the deck, and they shortened it like an Italian at Ellis Island or something.
Right. No, though we'll get to that. We will actually get to that. The game has cards of 4 suits with various names, but usually some variation of batons, sticks, coins or discs, swords, and cups.
Right.
In the Magic
That's
version,
all part of a balanced breakfast.
Sure. Pink hearts, yellow stars,
It's all there.
blue moons. In the
Hanging men.
In the occultic version of it, batons became wands, and coins became pentacles, whatever the fuck those are. Just kidding. I obviously know what a pentacle is. It's the 5th leg of an octopus. Right?
Is there a sexticle?
Yes.
A septicle?
Yeah, that's right. Anywho,
If you catch him by the octacle, you get his pot of ink. That's where it comes from, everybody. You're welcome.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I think there's a funnier word in the English language than ink. I'm sorry. It's a funny fucking word.
Okay. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I'll keep going then.
Yeah, I'm almost out of ink.
Anywho, each suit had pip cards, a.k.a. number cards, usually ace or 1 through 10, and then face cards, which may or may not have been king, sometimes a queen, depending on if the maker thought girls had cooties or not.
Right.
A knight, and a jack or knave.
Right.
Then there were a series of individual cards with cool illustrations called Cards of Triumph, or in the Italian, Carte da Trionfi, which eventually evolved to the English word trump, which was later all but ruined when some idiot at Ellis Island changed the name of a Bavarian immigrant named Trumpf, whose grandson turned out to be the winner of How to Heretics' first most revolting human award.
Let's remember, it was a German draft dodger coming to America.
There you go.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
Yeah, exactly. So those trump cards sometimes included things like the Fool and Death. Other incarnations of the deck made the trump cards Roman gods or astrological symbols. As early sets were all hand-painted and therefore crazy expensive, it was kind of up to the buyer what would be included.
Oh, so it was like a la carte.
A la carte. Yes, a la carte. Yes. What eventually seems to have happened is that sometime in the mid to late 1700s, Monsieur Gébelin, or someone in his proximity...
If that is your real name.
Oh, it's not, actually.
It's so predictable, this thing.
Right. Yeah. It was just Antoine Court.
Yeah.
And then he changed it. He added the de Gébelin.
He dyed it.
For fun.
Yeah.
And profit. Anyway, he or someone around him decided that the pretty pictures that traditionally adorned the cards had some magical significance, and he set out to uncover the meanings of these cards. Eventually, divination through paper game pieces gained in popularity, and by 1785, a Parisian occultist calling himself Etienne, real name Jean-Baptiste Aliette, had released a deck of cards specifically for the spooky hoodoo.
Can you French people just pick a fucking name and stick with it? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get 2. You got a first.
Well, if you're French, you get like 12.
Right, exactly.
That's the original 12.
Right, yeah. From there, we get a pretty straight line to the goofball stuff that we all know and love today, the basics of which usually look something like this. The querent, that's hoodoo speak for the sucker. The seeker / questioner.
The querent, yeah.
shuffles the cards and maybe is asked to think about their life dilemmas or infuse the deck with their energy or
the card
bullshit.
reader goes through their bag or their phone.
Right. Or sometimes the card reader is then asking them questions as they're shuffling the deck so that the read isn't totally cold.
What are you here for? Health or wealth? Or
Do you have any dead grandparents?
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to talk about love or money or Oh yeah, I want to know how things are going to go with my wife. Wife, right? Anywho, so then the reader places the first few cards on the deck in some pattern, with each position supposedly referring to specific things. So, like, this position is about your love life. And you got the 6 of Wands, which means that you'll fall in love tomorrow, but it's inverted, so you'll break up by 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Right.
Sort of thing. Now, this position refers to your career, and you got the Empress card there, which is good. That card in this position means you're going to be promoted to Junior Vice President of Accounting. Congratulations. Exactly. That'll be $80, please.
I didn't know Yogi Bear was into tarot.
Hey, boo-boo.
the tarot picnic.
You got death. There you have it.
So have you ever had a tarot reading?
I have done, not by someone who takes it seriously, though.
Yeah. Have you, Doug?
On more than one, very excruciating.
Oh, that's right, because you guys are straight.
Yeah.
Right. So
I've had a couple first dates that ended in a tarot reading.
That's part of part of courtship in the heterosexual world. That's why you hate gay people. We're better.
And I sat through the tarot reading because I thought the date still might end in sex, and it did not.
Oh, you picked the wrong cards, dummy.
I totally did.
I've had a person who did one for me very earnestly, and then I had another fortune telling reading when I was in Havana.
Yeah,
years ago. What are they? The Santeria.
Oh,
and it took like 49 million hours, and it was hilarious how fucking off. Like, this guy was the worst cold reader imaginable.
Well, what's funny about tarot, and this is why every fortune teller, medium, whatever in the world will give you a tarot reading if you want. Mm-hmm. It's fucking easy.
Yeah.
You basically, you say the card says X, and that could mean 1, 2, or 3. And then the person fills it in with, oh, well, that could relate to my life in this place. It's the easiest thing. It's so much easier than just a straight psychic reading.
The card says there's a journey in your future.
Right, exactly.
Oh, I am going home from here later.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
The card is warning you about a decision that you're going to be making about your career. Do you have any decisions coming up?
Yeah, it's kind of a live horoscope.
Yeah, but there are libraries of books. The Golden Shower bookstore right down the road from here.
That's not what it's called.
There's just a section of tarot, books on tarot.
Yeah. Oh, and believe me, the thing about this is that it is one of those things that it's why everybody thinks that they can do it, because if the other person, if you go into this believing, you're going to walk away thinking this was just for me.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because it's super easy to make it seem like it's just for you. It's one of those woos.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it can actually, I have friends who don't believe in it at all, but do it anyway, because it's an interesting way of sort of distilling where your own brain is.
Yeah. It can be a sort of therapy.
Right.
If you can't afford a therapist.
Well, and if you can separate it from like being anything prescriptive,
right?
If you just use it as a tool for sort of asking yourself questions about where
challenging your thinking,
where your actual brain is right now, then yes, finding the Empress card inverted on your whatever eventually can be like, if that were about my actual love life, and if it were saying that I should sort of take a step back, is that actually useful?
That I should ask for butt stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Maybe now is the time.
That's the 9 of Cups, classic.
I'm realizing that I actually want that.
Yeah,
in my pentacle.
I think it's the 9 of Wands. Actually,
I'm gonna. Well, it depends.
Gonna stick my pentacle in your cup.
Depends on which card you get, Doug.
All right.
Well,
you wish you had 9 of Wands.
I'm going to out Uncle Mark here. Uncle Mark actually has a tarot deck.
Do I?
You have the that Edward Gorey.
I do. Yeah. I do have a. It's actually not a tarot deck. It's called the Fantod pack.
Yeah, it's tarot-esque.
It's hilarity. Yeah,
it's
so
really funny.
If you don't know who Edward Gorey is, look him up. He's a fantastic illustrator that did like these crazy Victorian things. Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
But remember, the worst thing you could get was the black doll.
Yes,
that sounds spooky. Just saying spooky. It. Don't say it to me.
And what it says on the card is, "What most you fear is coming near."
Ooh. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on.
Well, good uncles.
Yeah, we did it.
Go uncles.
We made it through December.
Oh God!
People gave, we gave, they gave.
Yes,
it was a time of giving.
That's right.
A time of giving, and we got some wonderful. Wonderful contributions and a lot of love from our friends out there, and we're very grateful for that.
We've taken December back from the Christians. The war on Christmas goes well.
We've given it back to the pagans. So, Dan, we have some people to thank.
We do have some people to thank. These are people who have gone to howtoheretic.com and clicked on our Patreon link and gone in and signed up. They all made it in before the end of December, so a month's worth of their donations will be split between us and the Furfurf.
Yes.
So that's lovely. So thanks go to Jennifer.
Yes.
To Lori. And to Scott. And then extra thanks go to Jen, who has already been a donor, but upped her ante.
To a very generous one-time donation.
Heavily, yes.
Way to go.
So we're going to be saint her, are we not?
Yes. I'll give her a saint.
Please.
I'll throw a saint at her. And Jen, your one-time lovely your quick donation has merited you Saint Irene of Orange County. And Saint Irene is the patron saint of worrying a lot.
Yeah.
And frequent trips to the coast.
Yes. She's kind of a mixed bag.
I mean, you go, but you're fret.
Well, you know what you want if you're worrying a lot, you need to go just chill out on the coast.
You do.
Yeah. You need to go to Big Sur and just kind of
give it a minute.
Take it all in.
So Jen, you're very fortunate. That you will have this saint with you all the time
for all your days.
But fellas, you guys have some work to do also.
Indeed.
Yes.
I'm going to start with you, Uncle Doug. I want you to give a heaven to Josh.
Josh, although the winter solstice has just passed and the days are getting incrementally longer, the truth is that the number of days you will be on this earth are getting shorter. You may run from this truth, but it will run faster. Like all of us, your sunrises will outnumber your sunsets by 1, and on that final day, you can at least take heart that your own personal heaven awaits. Josh, when the light fades from your eyes and your alarmingly loud death rattle absolutely terrifies your gathered family, at that moment you will find yourself on the threshold of an unimaginably large and ornate ballroom, filled with thousands of well-dressed guests. For a second, you'll wonder if you are to spend eternity at the greatest New Year's Eve celebration since Caligula's Rockin' New Year's Eve AD 39. Or perhaps you are damned to spend eternity in the ballroom scene from The Shining, although that was a pretty great-looking party. A quick glance upward at the banner hanging over the door suddenly grounds you in your new eternity. In giant cursive gold letters is written, The Hall of Joshes. Yes, Josh, you will spend eternity with your namesakes throughout history.
Oh, no.
You enter, a little nervous at first, but look, there's Josh Brolin sharing a laugh with Josh Groban. Wondering what they're talking about? Don't worry. You will have all time to hear every one of their stories. Look, there's Los Angeles outfielder Josh Hamilton, Indianapolis Colts return specialist Josh Cribbs, and Miami Heat power forward Josh Roberts discussing the virtues of their respective sports. Oh my God, over there it's Josh Holloway, who played Sawyer in Lost. That's fantastic. You always wanted to know what was up with the end of that show. Now you can ask one of the principal actors. He's in a group with Josh Hartnett, Josh Lucas, Josh Duhamel, discussing film theory. Can't wait to get in on that. You do notice Joshua, the OG biblical Joshua, standing all by himself in full battle gear. Wonder what that's all about. There's a couple more familiar faces here and there, but by and large, there are only a few dozen Joshes you recognize among the countless thousands milling about with their half-full martinis. No matter, you will get to know them all their stories, all their interests. You have eternity after all. And so the eons will pass, and before you know it, two things will become painfully apparent to you. Most people named Josh are achingly boring, and there are only a few black people and no women named Josh. Now, depending on your racial inclination and sexual orientation, that may be good news. However, one thing is for certain, it does make for pretty boring conversation. Turns out that Josh Holloway has no idea what happened at the end of Lost, as he was on a 2-year meth binge at the time, and he's just as much of an overactor in person. And God damn it, if you have to hear Josh Brolin talk about the making of Sin City, A Dame to Kill For one more fucking time. Oh, and the reason that Joshua is all by himself? He's an astounding racist. Who knew? As for the film theory discussion by the assembled actor Joshes, the only thing they can all agree on is that Godfather 3 was the best in the trilogy, and the prequels are underrated. Now, Josh, you may want to curse your parents for not naming you Harrison or Theodore or Ernest, but take a deep breath and remember that they could have made things much worse for you by naming you Donald, Adolf, or Mark. Now, get back in there and mingle, and remember, as maddening as it might be to be with all of history's Joshes, you are and always will be one of them. Enjoy.
You know, the least plausible thing in that entire heaven is that there's only one racist Josh. I feel like that I can't get on board with that.
Well, there's a most racist.
That's
Josh.
right.
Right. Okay. And now I bitterly regret not turning to Doug and saying, "And Doug, I need a heaven for Tim." Just to fuck with you.
I double checked. I'm like, I'm making sure it's Josh because I've invested in this.
So congratulations, Josh.
Please enjoy.
You are in for a treat once the Joshes come at you. And now, Uncle Mark, you have to give a heaven to 17th Angry Democrat.
Well, you say have to. I consider this one of the great
How did I know it's
privileges.
Josh?
I know, right? Well, you would have been fucked.
I consider this a great privilege. So,
Yes, it is an honor. That's true.
17th Angry Democrat. Well, no one would confuse you with a hidebound old-school traditionalist. There are those classic things in life a person of your taste and discernment can appreciate. And for your heaven, I truly do hope this is the case. For your heaven, 17th Angry Democrat is simply called heaven. That's right, 17th Angry Democrat. You are literally going to spend eternity where cliches go to die. Heaven, the one from the movies, the one from 10,000 New Yorker cartoons, awaits just above a dazzling white layer of impossibly fluffy stratocumulus clouds, through which, in a day long distant from now, you shall pass as one of the elect. There, before you will be a set of fussily French neoclassical-style golden gates, set with the accumulations of an infinite number of oysters. And behind a tall lectern is a wizened Middle Eastern man who came here via Italy some time ago. He smiles brightly as he shows you your name, 17th Angry Democrat, written in oldie English quill calligraphy in his massive book. The gates creak open, and in you go. So, 17th Angry Democrat, let me give you some tips for your time, all your time, forever in heaven. Number 1, walking on clouds is fucking terrifying. Yes, you have wings, but they're not really up to snuff in the lift-to-weight ratio. Think like a chicken's wings, they really are best for breaking a fall. And falling is what you will be desperate to prevent forever. So there's a kind of strange, like, live load sort of motion you can get by walking like you're pedaling a unicycle and clenching your wings like you have to take a massive shit between your shoulder blades. It doesn't make sense now, but trust me, the feeling of walking on a whole lot of vaporous nothing is weird for the first 300 billion years, but then you'll get it. Number 2. Do you like babies? How much? If not a lot, you have got to work on that. Plump, teeny-winged babies are basically a combination of the Sea Org and the Department of Public Works in heaven. They are fucking everywhere, and they run everything. They don't say much, they seem cute, but cross them at your peril. For real, if you are not chill with babies, you got to work on that. Number 3. How are you with giving people compliments? Like, how about a lot of them? Can you feign sincerity 24/7, 365, and then you have to imagine like a sideways 8 following that? That means forever. See, it turns out your host up there is a stupendously insecure and desperately needy priss. So to keep him from blowing the whole thing up, you and the assembled zillions are going to have to lay it on thick. You ever see those old films of the Politburo standing and applauding wildly without end for Comrade Stalin? That's like a day off for you. Number 4. How much do you like harp music? For real, 17th Angry Democrat. Have you given this the kind of thought you ought? If you haven't been exposed to much, do so quickly. Sure, it's pretty at some old hotel brunch buffet with your grandparents for an hour or two, but I'm talking about harp music all day, every day, on a scale that makes the massive U.S. industrialization for World War II look like a kitten sniffing a dandelion. This is 100,000 megatons of C strings alone forever. I suggest you get into iTunes, start with some nice Irish harp, then work your way up through some hardcore shit like Lily Liskine, Gloria Galante, and finally, Marcel Grandjay and Nicanor Zabaleta. Go hard, learn it, live it, and love it like your forever life depends on it. And I mean, we could go on 17th Angry Democrat, but those are the basic survival tips for making it through the first 500 billion years. Don't fret about fitting in or making friends or what you eat or where you sleep, since all you do all day is jam on the harp, try the fuck not to fall, and praise the blinding, migraine-like point of light in the center of the cloud palace. None of those things, the other shit, none of those are things. No rest for the righteous. Am I right, guys? Your generosity has earned you this most traditional of all heavens, 17th Angry Democrat, from which there is no respite and no escape.
All right. How do you not list the 20th century's most famous harpist?
Well, tell me.
Harpo.
Oh, well, of course, Harpo. But I don't think... Harpo is a little more of a leitmotif.
Yeah, I mean...
He was actually one of the most accomplished harpists.
Poser harp
Is that literally true?
Yeah, oh, yeah. My cousin, who is a professional harpist, like, in harp circles, Harpo is well revered.
No kidding.
I thought it was a harpy.
Those are also well revered.
Wait, Harpo was a harpy? We're getting off track. So if you want to join these elect, please go to our website, howtoheretic.com. Click on the Patreon link. Click money, money, money.
Yeah, exactly. Give us your money.
Give us your money. And we'll love you for it.
What are you doing?
What are you doing with it? You're not doing anything with it.
It's
2019. We're all going to die. Right. Give us your fucking money.
You give us $1 an episode. You're not going to lose your trip to Cancun.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Okay, let's move on. Uncle Doug.
Uncle Dan.
I was thinking about looking for something to do.
Yeah.
Now that the new year has come, and I'm just looking to turn over some new leaves.
And rather than a resolution, maybe
I'll just try to complete a series of things.
Right.
Well, I might be able to help you fellas out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk to me, Uncle Mark.
Well, it is, as you kind of alluded to, Dan, it is that time of year when people do make resolutions.
Yeah.
Promise to themselves that they generally never keep.
You keep for 10 days.
Yeah, you keep it for,
Through what's the sober wear? What do you call January where you don't drink? I've never done it.
Sober wearing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Something?
Oh, really?
Okay.
It's a thing people do. You do a sober January, and it lasts till about the 10th.
Right.
And so it's good. So you're fine. You're good for the rest of the year. So, there's kind of an older version of the resolution, really. Which, there's this kind of this old list of things, this old list of rules that I thought, I don't really know I don't know the origin of this particular, I guess we could call it sacred cow.
Okay.
So I went digging, and I did this for you people. I went digging, and the sacred cow I want to talk about today is one that most of us don't even really think about. It's so in the ether, and that is the 7 deadly sins.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about this in the context of resolutions. I assume I'm supposed to resolve to do one of each.
One a day.
Okay, one a day.
It's like an advent calendar.
I'm pretty gluttonous. I think I can make it work. I think I can make it happen.
I can do more than one a day.
I can fit in. I can squeeze in a couple.
If you do one a day on day 7, you've got Kevin Spacey in the backseat of your police cruiser, so be careful.
That's right, and 3 French hens. So it's a shitty mess out there, people. Be careful. So now
It's
listen.
a known fact that Kevin Spacey has 3 French hens with him wherever he goes.
Well, we'll get to Kevin Spacey. Well, if you want, if you don't want to listen to this segment, you can just skip it and watch Seven, which is David Fincher's excellent documentary on the subject,
right?
Featuring real life Kevin Spacey as the person he actually is. But if you aren't ready for full luxury cinematic visceral horror on your lunch break,
or if you don't want to know what's in the box,
stick around and I'll show you what's in the box in a more safe for work setting. So,
right.
Before we dive into Sin's magic number, and remember, Bible number crunchers, 7 is a major magic thingy in places like Revelation.
Right.
I think we should take a minute to discuss what sin is, if it is anything at all.
Okay.
So first of all, because 2/3 of this podcast is left-handed,
gross.
It does not come from that.
It's not sinister.
The word sin does not come from that. Actually, I was kind of surprised to find out. It is a dirty right-hander's lie. It's actually Latin for son or sont, meaning guilty.
Oh.
So fuck off, you dexterous motherfuckers.
Well, but
life is beautiful.
I mean, the word sinister still does come from left-handedness, so.
Yeah, it's totally fine because I'm as sinister as they come.
You're a devious one.
But as sin in the religious context is a crime against God, which is not a real thing, you cannot make God cry. Like in the same way Skeletor might have a list of rules somewhere, and it's your life, kid. You're free to follow them. But if you break them, Skeletor's not going to cry because A, he's not real, and B, he has huge pecs but no tear ducts.
Yes, that's right.
Right? So I'm not worried about sinning against Skeletor or Yahweh or baby Jesus with his balled up little fist. Or even the devil, who truthfully is the least dramatic of that whole cast of characters. So
right.
Sin basically is a crime against an invisible narc who sees you when you're sleeping, who knows when you're awake, who knows your browser history, and that you use the handicap stall in the bathroom because you manspread.
But also he knows that, like, he made you that way.
Exactly right. And you are either predestined to do all the things, or as Christopher Hitchens says, he created you sick and commanded you to get well.
Right.
So fuck that guy, even if he's in the toilet stall with you. So
I have a wide stance. That's all.
Is that what the tapping was about?
It's just a wide stance.
Okay.
You have a far greater risk of sharing a toilet stall with a Republican member of Congress than you do with the creator of the universe. So.
That's true.
So,
although several Republican members of Congress probably see themselves as the creator of the universe, so
boy howdy.
Yeah.
So, the notion of sin, while obviously super useful for control structures of church and state and even, family, is an incredibly destructive and evil concept to begin pounding into children.
Sure.
Christianity even lards people up, women particularly, with the most horrible of all sins, Lady McRib giving an apple pie to her idiot boyfriend because a pre-snake, who was not the devil, told her to.
Right.
Right? So bleed forever, kid.
As we all learned.
That's just math. So sin's a terrible concept.
Wouldn't it be great if McDonald's was a giant satanic conspiracy? The apple pie and the McRib?
You're somehow claiming it's not?
Well, what do you think the grimace is? The grimace is the snake.
I'm just saying Hamburglar has my soul. Somehow.
I need to borrow some yarn and thumbtacks.
And Mayor McCheese has my vote.
Yeah, exactly.
So, obviously, we can cause harm to ourselves and others by failing to adhere to some basic secular societal norms or ethics, sometimes called laws, that help to govern how we exist in the same space without pandemonium. These ideas existed long before Moses saw a shrub on fire, and the 3 pertinent rules from the 10 Commandments existed long before Moses found them up on the hill,
right?
Not because of the 10 Commandments. So Yahweh and the Israelites were not the inventors of moral behavior. Thank fucking Jeebus. So anyway.
No, I mean, pre-humans had morality. Any species that has to have that is a societal species.
Yes.
Chimps have morality.
Elephants have morality.
Yeah, that depend on one another
right.
for sustenance and life, of course.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid argument that we have to continue to have in this world, but as long as the church is open, it's going to be an argument we're going to have. So,
what do you think the 7 deadly chimp sins are?
They're all banana based.
Yeah.
The bonobo,
the 7 deadly chimps. So here's the thing about the 7 deadly sins. Maybe because I'm a visual guy, and the 7 sins were so commonly illustrated in the Middle Ages.
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Like, think of drunken peasants rolling around among crab people and man-sized beetles in a Hieronymus Bosch painting, or hardy folk dancing too exuberantly during harvest in a Bruegel painting. I was pretty sure that they were some kind of middle-age concoction of the monastery.
Sure.
But they are much older.
Uh-huh.
And also have long been under the name the capital vices or cardinal sins.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that. I've heard cardinal sins.
I thought cardinal sin was like murder. Murdering a cardinal.
No.
A bird or a man, either way.
Whichever you need to do.
So actually the Greeks spoke of a similar idea in the pre-Christian world. Aristotle wrote about a set of virtues in his, and I'm going to nail this, Nicomachean Ethics. At either end of the virtue were a negative vice. So, for instance, an overabundance of courage made you callous towards others, and a lack of courage makes a person a coward. So finding the center of these attributes makes one balanced, thus Aristotle's golden mean.
Okay.
So, around 380 CE, a theologian named Evagrius Ponticus, no doubt influenced by the Greek thinking about cardinal virtues and vices, came up with the original list of the sins that became widely dispersed in the Christian world, and then about 200 years later, they were modified a little bit and made into church canon by Pope Gregory I.
Oh, Pope Gregory.
Not telling anybody anything they don't know.
Right.
So, and I thought they were purely a Catholic phenomenon, but it's not so. Many Protestant strains have it as canon as well, and the 7 deadly sins were frequently cited by none other than the holiest American ever, Billy fucking Graham. That's his real middle name.
Yeah, that's true.
So Billy passed his great moral rectitude down to his much holier-than-thou son, Franklin, whom, in an ironic
Whose
twist...
holy rectitude has been getting passed by Pool Boy.
No, I think that's Falwell Jr., isn't it?
Oh, I don't care.
Who gives a fuck?
All of them.
They all have a pool.
They all have a
They
pool
all
boy.
have a son with a Pool Boy. Who knows?
They all have a pool boy in the trunk. Whom, in an ironic twist for this story, spends much of his time and energy these days supporting and campaigning for the perfect human embodiment of the 7 deadly sins. Let me name the sins and see if you can guess about whom I'm speaking.
Okay.
In the standardized list, in English, following Pope Gregory's edict and in their proper order, which is very important.
Okay.
Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. Now, if you were to imagine a person, if such a person was even possible, that fully embraced not just one, not just two, but all 26 of the 7 deadly sins with joy, what would that person standing next to the Reverend Franklin Graham look like? Would he be orange, maybe?
Are you thinking of 80s heartthrob Mark Harmon? Is that who you're thinking of?
I'm thinking of the sexy, muscly saxophone guy from the Lost Boys.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a weird tangent to go on, but I felt like it was worth it.
It's totally worth. That's always a road we'll go down.
I would not be surprised if that's his 2020 campaign slogan. It's just the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, I thought you meant the muscle guy from the Lost Boys.
His running mate.
Yeah, why not?
Donald Trump, deadlier than ever.
As long as he can drive him on stage in a monster truck.
Trump will totally spin it. I'm so deadly. Look at it. Of course I should be the commander-in-chief. I do all the 7 deadly sins.
No one envies harder than me.
That is the truth.
I got wrath. I got the best wrath. So let's leave the greatest Christian president aside for a second and talk about each sin individually. And this is where the list actually kind of gets fascinating.
Okay, but going forward, henceforth, I think it should be the editorial policy of the How to Heretic that it is pronounced sleuth.
Sleuth, exactly. There's an E on the end of that.
With a Victorian kind of sleuth.
I've been accused of sleuth.
I've taken with sleuth. So lust, first one on the list, and it's important. You'll see that it's important why they're in this order.
Foremost in my mind.
So, wanting a person, place, or thing, most often associated with the want of a person and wanting to make sexy time with that person, whether they might like it or not.
Meow.
So, lust is obviously very much a thought crime. The idea is that it leads to, with most of these sins actually, but certainly with lust, is that it leads to actions that are more serious sins. So just never think it, because that's how people work.
So lust isn't the act that comes after lust. They're saying that the deadly sin is thinking sexy thoughts?
Most of these are essentially thought crimes.
They're all thought crimes, basically.
It's complicated, but yes, lust for sure is a thought crime.
That's so weird.
Because, as we know, the Bible 1 time out of 10 says rape is a bad thing.
Right.
But adultery
we haven't found that one yet, but we'll get there.
Adultery is frowned upon.
Sometimes.
Because it's a property crime.
Also sometimes.
Right. So it's all just black and white here, fellas.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So Jimmy Carter famously admitted to having affairs because he had lusted after women in his mind.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew none of this.
Yep.
Okay.
Huh. And Jimmy still teaches Sunday school. Apparently, he kills cancer in his spare time.
Yeah.
And RPG.
Well, when he's between houses he's building.
And he teaches Sunday school. So, oddly, according to Christian canon, lust is actually the least serious of the 7 sins.
Okay.
On all the 7 C's.
So they're ranked.
They are ranked, and we're going to read them in order. And you're going
to. We're going Letterman style.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my blue cards. So I was a little shocked that it's considered the least because of the millennia of Christian sex shaming. But there you go. It's also listed as the one attribute, quote unquote, we share with the animals. Therefore, it is the basest part of us.
Okay.
Huh. So in Dante's Inferno, which we're going to do a whole segment about someday, this is a little bit of color. The souls of the lustful are thrashed around forever in an eternal storm, like the storm of lust that wrecked their lives.
Oh.
All right, next on the list, fellas.
Okay.
Gluttony.
Yeah.
My favorite.
So gluttony, the word comes from the Latin word for gulp, which is glutire. And like lust, it's considered one of the lowest grade sins. It obviously applies mostly to the overconsumption of food and drink, but particularly food.
This is so weird. Like, how is it? Against whom is it a sin?
Why?
I mean, where does God say that it's a sin?
It's a sin because a lot of these things are considered sins in one aspect because you are focusing on a thing of this world, and in so doing, not focusing on what you should be focusing on, which is God, Jesus, the Bible.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's
bitches got to eat.
You got to eat.
Right.
That's how he made us. That's not my fault that I have to eat.
And here's the crazy thing is, now we're just days away from the year of our Lord, 2019.
By the time anyone's listening, though, it'll be that day.
And here in these United States, food insecurity is the daily grind of tens of millions of people. Yeah. I can't really imagine that in the year 590, Pope Gregory looked around and saw that one of society's 7 biggest problems was regular people having too much to eat.
Well,
right?
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of these things are focused on the wealthy. Like it was the upper class. Like the lower class, they didn't even care about. They weren't even thinking about that. The church was focused on the upper class because that's who was given the money.
Right, but the rules definitely were for the little people. Like keeping people in line was what the church.
Here's
was
the thing: you got to have strong rules in place so that you can provide absolution for money.
You got to keep.
All I'm saying is
strong.
You got to keep the rich people feeling bad about themselves.
Yes,
so that they keep giving.
So they'll buy
money.
indulgences.
Right,
that's absolutely the case. So anyway, and another thought with gluttony was, if you're eating too much, you're taking food from the soldier. You're taking food from the
poor person.
It was a blanket that wasn't big enough for the bed, apparently, and it's probably true.
In some cases, yeah, and especially back then, food was probably a zero-sum game.
That's what I mean.
There was a solid. There was a single amount of food.
If you were one of those rare overfed peasants in the Dark Ages,
yes.
Dante designed a circle of hell for gluttons like you, in which you crawl around in a cold slush of human waste and freezing rain, forever trying to gorge and forever starving, blind to anyone around you, as your gluttony made you blind in life. So
Jesus, sounds like one of our heavens.
I am 100% ready for Donald Trump to be doing that.
Yeah.
I am on board with Dante having at Trump.
I will believe in the Old Testament fucking cosmology.
Yeah.
If I can see Donald Trump rolling around in poo slush.
Yep.
Well, the Russians probably have that.
It's true. They've got the video.
It's called his morning routine.
It's just getting out of bed. So, 10 cheeseburgers a day, it's going to take a toll. So, greed. We've arrived at greed.
Okay.
So, like the two prior sins, greed is one of desire, again a thought crime, until it's put into action. And here's where I find I must agree a little bit with the ancient monk Evagrius Ponticus. Greedy people are shitty.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting note, one of the aspects of greed commonly referred to in the various lists of the seven is simony.
Huh.
Dan, what is simony?
I know the answer, but
you want me just to go ahead and
I feel
explain?
like if you say it, you'll probably be more succinct.
I should
about
probably explain it.
It would take me paragraphs to get
right, because it's a
the
pretty
answer.
complex idea.
Yeah.
So simony is the selling of church property or holy orders.
That's what I said.
So that's a greedy thing to do, Dan.
I thought that was called Catholicism.
Yeah. Taking a few trinkets from a building made of statues and gold and selling them, that is bad.
That is bad.
So, Dan, Dante's Circle of Hell for Simonists and their kind was a wild boulder jousting fight between those who hoarded money on one side and those who spent wildly on the other.
Okay, that sounds fun.
And here we are at
I want to see that.
Dan's favorite.
Simony.
No,
Damn it.
the fancy word.
Oh, sleuth? Sleuth. We're on to sleuth.
So, while it is, as we know, inherently sinful to be a slow-moving boreal mammal in the suborder Folivora, it's not the sinful tree sloths of the Amazon basin we're discussing here.
Oh.
It is the sin of indolence.
Yes.
The Latin for sloth is assidia, meaning without care. Our friend Thomas Aquinas defines sloth as sorrow about spiritual good, whatever the fuck that means.
That's
I
helpful.
thought it was laziness.
Thanks, Thomas.
So at first I thought sloth was a pretty simple idea. You're a lazy fuck. You sleep through your alarm. We've all been there. But of all the seven, this is the bizarre grab bag of ideas. Like sloth is just packed with all these different fucking weird concepts. Like, for instance, sloth being the failure to use the 7 gifts of grace from the Holy Spirit. And those...
The failure to use the 7 gifts of grace?
There's so many lists to keep track of. So those, as we all know, being wisdom, understanding, counsel, knowledge, piety, fortitude,
Grumpy, dopey, and talk.
and fear of the Lord. Just rhymes so well.
4 of those were synonyms.
Exactly. So the Christian hatred of sloth goes beyond the physical into the emotional, mental, and spiritual realms. And as you drill down and read about the 7 deadly sins, you realize it's less a really simple list of don'ts and more of a fractal of ever-expanding prescriptions and punishments. It's a Trojan list of rules stuffed with more rules. It's like stepping on a pregnant spider, something Doug...
Oh, thanks for that.
An image you can enjoy.
I don't think spiders get pregnant, but that's...
Oh, they do.
Let's not get into it.
Let's move on.
I don't need Doug checking out for the whole rest
You
of
need
the
a Doug-sized
episode.
hole in the side of the studio.
Dante's slothful souls are forever rigged to some kind of treadmill, sprinting eternally at top speed. So Dante invented the treadmill.
I like it.
So next we come to wrath as we move up the scale.
And I'm pissed about it.
Unlike the surprisingly plastic notion of sleuth, wrath maybe is the most basic idea covered in the 7. It doesn't need a lot of exploration. The Catholic Catechism cautions against anger becoming sustained or too great in nature, saying anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Those are the words of Pope Yoda. Who might as well be a pope.
Sure.
I'm one of those people who doesn't think anger is always negative, mostly because it's kind of half of my makeup. It is very motivating in taking action or righting wrongs and addressing problems in life if you can control it. Like lust, it's another thought crime. Nobody's problem until it moves into motion by word or by deed. Okay. We're at the big 2.
All right.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head in a box wouldn't necessarily motivate me to wrath these days. Just saying.
As long as it comes with free shipping with a jade egg.
I was going to say, check the body for an egg.
Kevin Spacey should have put it up his mangina and said, no, this doctor's orders. It's very helpful. I'm going to yoga. Fuck off. Fuck off, Brad Pitt. So, envy. Biblical purists say that envy is the first sin of the Bible. The one that drove Cain to kill Abel because God was more pleased with his sacrifice.
Okay.
I thought the first sin of the Bible was eating fruit.
Whereas we know the first sin in the Bible was the aforementioned single helping of fruit a bone clone gave a mudman at the suggestion of a reptile of unknown origin, producing the first Nakedness Awareness Day and eventually a flaming sword to guard a tree that it was pointless to guard anymore.
And look for the album Single Helping of Fruit dropping from Bone Clone and Mudman coming soon
Bone
to
Clone and Mudman Studios.
iTunes near you.
I love Bone Clone and Mudman. Captain and Tennille totally stole their shtick. So anyway, we do know envy by one of its other names, covetousness, as forbidden expressly in Commandment the 10th. And Dan, we talked about the 10th commandment a while back on episode 25.
Yeah.
And I think we came to a pretty nuanced conclusion about the nature of coveting and envy, as I recall.
I mean, it's a tricky thing, right? Because it's probably not great for you.
It is a thought crime.
It's not even a crime, but it's like, all of these are just things that I can agree that your entire list so far has been stuff that could hurt you if you engage too heavily in it.
Right. As are all things.
It doesn't, but it's not stuff that can hurt somebody else.
Not necessarily,
and to me, a sin is something against a fellow human, against a society. Again, you know what I mean? Like, if you're just sort
against
of
an innocent person,
if you're hurting yourself,
I mean, being gluttonous and envious is just a Friday night,
right?
That's
totally.
That's on the way to the shower on Friday morning.
I'm envious of your gluttony, frankly.
The whole thing makes me mad. The whole thing makes me greedy. So, envy can be corrosive if you let it get out of control. Again, like a lot of those other things.
But can it also not be a motivator? Could it not also motivate?
Absolutely.
Right.
You want to keep up with the Joneses, or you just want the thing, so you do something greedy to get it, and then I'm trying to just put it all through a 7-way lens here.
And then fall asleep at work.
I'm pretty sure one action could satisfy all of these if you craft it cleverly enough.
So a way that envy is often defined in the 7 deadly sins is a 3-stage assault on another person. First to lower them in some way, then to laugh at their misfortune, and then to hate them. Of course, this is also called life on Twitter. Yeah. So, and envy is considered the second most grievous of the big 7. In Dante's Inferno, the envious souls just have their eyes sewn shut so they can't see anything they want to have. So I think he was running out of ideas by number 6.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Pretty slothful writing, Dante. Step it up or it's the poo slush for you. All right, Dan. What is the biggest, baddest, most famous reindeer of all?
Wait.
Well, what have we not covered? Greed, envy, lust, sloth. Whimsy.
Dancing like nobody's watching.
Postmodernism?
Yeah. It is pride, my friends. The sin of pride.
I made a whole Mormon movie about it.
So the sin of pride is by far, by an order of magnitude, the greatest sin in the canon. So do you guys remember a few shows back when I was talking about a funeral I'd been to?
I don't listen to you.
Yeah, I don't listen to the show, and I don't listen to me while I'm doing the show.
Right.
Or either of you.
Right.
Anyway, there was this very full of himself, feel-good, guitar, cool guy pastor, and he behaved so egregiously at this funeral, I got into a back and forth with him on email. Not being impressed with how impressed he was with himself as he traumatized a room full of mourners, I kind of gave him both barrels. And I told him his behavior was appalling.
Wrath.
And he should be ashamed of himself and should consider living out his days in an abandoned mine shaft. In so many words.
Yeah.
So many words. So in several of his responses, he would tell me, pride goes before the fall, Mark. So
calling you to repentance for your pride?
So to be clear, a man who insisted he was certain of what was going through the head of the deceased at the moment of dying, an event he was nowhere near, and it turned out what that was the name of the praise rock song next on the program, was accusing me of being prideful. But I only bring it up because I think it's a perfect illustration of why pride is the gravest of sins to the Christian mindset. I would argue many of the others, as they relate to patterns of behavior, are far worse. Anger can lead to violence, for one example. But pride is the one that challenges. Right? Pride, known otherwise as confidence or self-possession, is a nasty trait that might give somebody the idea that they could tell the pastor he's a fucking sociopath, or to challenge some precious orthodoxy or ask some uncomfortable question, right?
That's true. Pride is the thing that the other guy always seems to have too much of.
Right.
Pride is it's the deadly sin of you.
It's not
of somebody over there,
it's
not of
never,
me.
Right.
It's never the breathtakingly arrogant guy standing at the pulpit,
Right,
claiming to know the secrets of life, the universe, and everything.
Right.
It's you for daring
To question.
even politely.
Right.
So anyway, it's so much worse than anger, right? Pride. Anyway, in screenwriting, there's this thing called joke progression, right? Which is where you use little gags to draw people up through increasingly funny ones until you nail them with a biggie.
Right.
I think the 7 Deadly Sins is like that, but for bullshit. So they've used things that may have arguably negative effects on a person's life or their community to build a little platform upon which to prop their big joke, which is pride. Right? So they have to, because pride, as they define it, allows you to question the reality of God and therefore the authority of the people who drill lists like this into your head from infancy. So the pastor telling me I was being prideful was him being threatened by the alteration of what he thinks the natural order should be. Right? God at the top,
sense.
himself in the middle, and the rest of us below, taking whatever shit they feel like doling out and paying our tithing on time. So I say, try not to get too mad. Lord knows I could eat and drink a little less. Don't be a greedy prick. But if pride leads you to personal intellectual freedom and liberation from bad ideas, a round of pride for all my gluttonous friends. Say aye.
Yeah, I kind of love that.
Did you happen to know what Dante's level of hell is for pride?
Weirdly enough, it is. I could not find it specifically mentioned. I think it's down in the...
Isn't that in the frozen layer?
I think it's in the frozen layer, which is the 9th circle, which is like treachery.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Where there's a big bat over a frozen lake and you're fucked.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It is chilly.
You'll miss the days of the poo slime up at fucking gluttony.
Up on level 3.
So there you go, guys. 7 Deadly Sins.
All right.
Love them, leave them.
Do them all.
All
Go
right.
out there and engage.
Let's move on.
Moving on.
Well, friends, that's it for this week's show.
Hey, if you have any hot stock tips for our talents, and we'd love to hear from you, send us an email, howto@howtoheretic.com.
Or if you have 75-ish pounds of gold wrapped in a napkin, please leave us a voicemail at 903-88-HOW-TO, which is 903-884-6986. We're also on Twitter at HowToHeretic, Facebook as well.
Yeah, hey, thanks so much once more to our patrons. We love you very much.
And thanks to our servant Cody for editing the show.
And thank you all for tuning in.
Happy New Year!
Bye!